What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Uchiha 3 Long Face getting by the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 30. Spoilers are out and about. The full chapter has leaked. We are getting the full chapter released on the 20th this month, but man, can I tell you, Ikimoto is living up to the saying is like, we can't say this is a predictable story. No matter how much you want to call it, bro. Every 10 chapters is like we're in a completely different trajectory than we were initially believed to be going the previous 10 chapters. Like, I say this all the time, but by the time we reach a 10 chapter mile mark, from chapter 1 to chapter 10, from chapter 10 to chapter 20, from chapter 20 to chapter 30, it's like, where is the story going from here? Of course, there are a plethora of questions that I have. Now, typically when we get the spoiler, when the spoilers drop, I say a full week, at the very least 4 to 5 days before we actually get the chapter. My reviews for the spoiler, my spoiler videos typically tend to be shorter because it's like, we have all this time between the official drop and now, and it's kind of like a double drop in a sense. Once we get the full chapter drop, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'll just say that I'm not the biggest fan of a full chapter leaking, especially if it's going to be 4 to 5 days before the actual chapter drops. If we're going to leak a full chapter, I'm the type of person to be like, well, then leak it at least a day before, because at that point there's going to be a good amount of people who be like, well, since it's dropping tomorrow, I might as well just wait for the officials. But if you do it a week before, everybody is gonna go into it, and then the people who don't are gonna make it a whole thing to make it a stance like, oh, I'm not looking at spoilers, and then you got half of the fandom acting surprised when the official drop. The other half is basically double downing on theories that they released or theorized about a week prior. So it's just a whole bunch of chaos. All in all, though, we do have the leaks. Y'all already know what it do over here on the channel. I never go over full leaks. I go over the moments or the panels that I believe stood out to me most or caught my eye at the very least. So that's what we're going to be talking about on the channel here today. Now, honestly and truly speaking, within the last 3 chapters, I have predicted this nigga Mamushi to be on the cover, and every time I turned out to be wrong. So this chapter, I think chapter 29 as well, I stopped predicting because Albert, like, I think from chapter 25, I was like, all right, Mamushi gonna be on this cover. Mamushi gonna be on chapter 26, 27, 28. He wasn't on 28. I was like, fuck it. And now we officially got chapter 30. It's actually a pretty dope cover. Now we officially got all of the Shinjus and their colored designs and cover pages, so that is pretty good to look at. Now, as far as the chapter itself, when I say back to how I stated earlier at the start of this video, expectations are turning, and basically the entire trajectory of the story is shifting. This is turning into an HBO drama series as opposed to like a MC shonen story. You feel me? HBO drama series typically tend to give you a handful of characters that can each be interchangeable as being basically processed as the main character, MC. It's more so like a story as opposed to following one specific character. But not saying that in a sense that Lord KOBU is a main character, but each of these characters carry their own weight, carry their own story within the story itself, and their path that they are taking throughout the story has its own impacts. And now we find out within chapter 30, the drama and the chaos between the Yamanaka clan and the tension between the Hokage and the daimyo is actually heating up. This guy, Sai, has apparently figured out that this nigga Shikamaru got Inojin up to no good. The only reason he was able to figure out because this nigga Inojin just pulled off a big brain jutsu of all jutsus. He literally put his Yamanaka mind transfer jutsu into a toad frog in the hideout where him and Kashin Koji are at, and then projected that mind transfer jutsu onto the toad that was within this nigga Shikamaru's karma, and then projected that mind transfer jutsu onto Lord KOBU as he's conducting the interview, the interrogation against this nigga Shikamaru. So Shikamaru was essentially called in this chapter. A lot of details going in between, like him, Sai, and this nigga Lord KOBU in terms of like them being in the middle of evasion. And I talked about this in my previous video. If this nigga Lord KOBU is literally gonna be ignorant to the fact that the Hidden Leaf is under attack by Shinju, mind you, and I'll wait for the official translations to drop, because even when they're talking to Lord KOBU about the invasion and the threat of the enemy, this nigga Sai had the balls to say, well, if they are Shinju, then their threat level should be unknown. Well, we can like literally be for real here. The entire last Great Ninja War was just because of one of these main bodies of these things. The motherfucking Ten Tail wreaked havoc across the entire world. So you're telling me a humanoid version of the Ten Tails with clones running around on top of transfer jutsu being in the claw marks is an unknown. Nah, fuck that, nigga. This is world-ending threat level territory right here. Fuck all that. We ain't finna interrogate Shikamaru. We need him in command right now. So I'm gonna wait for the official translations to actually see what this nigga side said to Lord KOBU. But even regardless of that, the threat is very, very serious. And considering the fact right now, especially from someone like Sai, nigga, we got no Naruto, no Sasuke. Like, let's keep it a being, gang. This is a very serious threat, right? But this nigga Lord KOBU is still being ignorant, and it looks as if this nigga Kashin Koji is trying to take matters into his own hands, right? So we already saw some of the panel leaks from like Himawari out here about to light up the village. So it is confirmed, guys. Himawari is a crash out. She was gonna crash out. This nigga Shikamaru, Shikadai had to step in, and he basically had to let her know, like, shorty, you the strongest on the team, but you're also the least experienced on the team. Don't do no dumb shit like that ever again, right? It is basically one of those, don't give her no bijou bombs, because you already know what the fuck she finna do with it.
You call that a minute?
You don't even have to say nothing. I already know. I know. I can't help it, man. Don't give me no gun, man. You know what I'm gonna do.
Himawari was ready to blast the entire block into oblivion, and she didn't really process what she almost did until after she realized how big her explosion was once she got those Mamushis up into the sky, thanks to shout out to Shikadai for this new jutsu, by the way. Thanks to Shikadai's new shadow possession style jutsu, tossing them in the air by Chocho, and then Himawari following through with the last minute bijou bomb to blast them out of the sky. So a lot of big moments throughout this chapter. I saw a few panels of the queen, you know what I'm saying, the one and only heir of the Uchiha clan, Big Sarada, next to my wife, believe it or not, Delta. They were actually there looking like they were ready to start wreaking havoc on some clones. I didn't get too much details into those panels because I want to save a lot of the things for the officials so I can still have something fresh on my mind when the chapter drops. So mainly the interrogation and the Himawari scenes are the main things that I'm really talking about here within this video. As far as the Himawari scene, like we understood, she was about to crash out. She was about to shoot a bijou bomb in the middle of a block surrounded by civilians. Shikadai and Chocho clocked it. They got the Mamushis up out of there, tossed all four of them into the sky. And also to confirm, like, yes, for all y'all saying Chocho was Jigen level, Shinju level, obviously she's not. But yes, they got them into the sky and Himawari was able to get them niggas up out of here. So back to the interrogation, because this is the craziest thing. This is my connection to the HBO drama series, because now Kashin Koji is letting us know, nah. We not finna just start telling y'all, oh, the worst possible future and then avoid it by a hair. Fuck that. We about to start turning it up all the way up a couple notches. And he basically gives Inojin an order. As he's controlling Lord KOBU with the mind transfer jutsu, kill this nigga KOBU right now. And Inojin is shocked because he's like, wait, come again, Kashin Koji? And Kashin Koji apparently cut off all communications because he already know, and we already know, Big Boruto Usatsuki, Big Boruto Uzumaki is not gonna let nothing like this slide, especially the severity and the political power someone like Lord KOBU has. But understanding, basically coming from Kashin Koji's perspective inside, bro, this nigga is really an obstacle. He's a thorn in the side. Yes, he's right with his intuition. Shikamaru is being, helped by Boruto, Kashin Koji. He's having all of this intel being leaked from them. But at the same time, we know the true bad guy. We know the true good guys, the ones who actually have the village best interest in heart. So that's the really annoying thing about this guy, Lord KOBU. So he's kind of painted as a bad character or a character you wouldn't like, but not to his fault, right? Because he's not necessarily understanding or seeing the entire picture. But nevertheless, according to this guy Koji, this nigga Lord KOBU needs to die, and this guy Inojin might be the one to do it. He's telling him to basically to jump off of the roof and make it look like he committed suicide in the midst of being attacked by an army of Shinju clones. So a lot of ins and outs going down. All in all, I'm excited for chapter 30. I'm gonna save for the official drop to have my thoughts be spread out even more, but definitely look forward to it. And this is something that really threw me off. Like, I didn't expect an assassination attempt by this guy Kashin Koji. I know he's a trained assassin, but this early on and this degree of like stakes being placed on the line, like Boruto 2 Blue Vortex haven't given us something like this. I can't even say in a long time. This is actually the first time we've ever gotten something like this. And I really do hope, because I've been calling it, I said this invasion, it would be cool. A lot of people are theorizing, oh, Ada's gonna die. I'm like, that would be interesting, but like the stakes really, is it gonna be there for like the characters in story? We need some important figures to die. We need a handful of figures to die. We need a lot of people to die, right? But this nigga Lord KOBU was definitely one of the ones on my list that I suggested, and here, sure enough, his life is definitely on the line, but by none other than this guy, Kashin Koji. So I'm looking forward to it. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Boruto Tubu Vortex Chapter 30 spoilers are crazy. Holla at your boy. I'ma holla at y'all. Black Chat out. Yes, sir. Ski.